Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be showing you how to crochet this super cute net bag. So I made it multicolored and I started with the green and then shifted to the white. So for the bottom I made rows of single crochet until I had the size I want, but you can make for any length and width of the bag that you want. So it's flexible. And for the body of the bag I started with the green and then went to the white, but if you want you can just use one color. So it's a repetition of double crochets and single crochet, and you can use any type of yarn you want, but for a bulky yarn, that's the good yarn that you can make for this bag. And you can sew in a lining if you want to be carrying heavy items with it. I hope you enjoy the tutorial and let's get into it. So we are going to start with a slip knot. And then we are going to chain 10 chains. Once I have my 10 chains, I'm going to add one extra chain, and then I'm going to skip this one chain, and into the next one I'm going to make a single crochet like that. And then I'm going to continue with single crochets for this entire row. So in total you're going to be having 10 single crochets for row 1. Just like that. And then for row 2 you're going to chain 1 and turn your work, and into this first stitch here you're going to make single crochet, and then continue with single crochets for this entire row. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10 in this first one here. So once I have my 10 crochets, you're going to chain 1 and turn your work, and you're going to continue with this up to row 46. So I've made 46 rows, as you can see. You can make yours a bit smaller if that's what you want. So now once we are done with this, we're going to start working on the body of the bag. So you're going to chain 1, and then we're going to turn to this, the long side of the bag. As you know, we made about 46 rows, so we are going to be making 46 crochets on this long side. So into this space here, and that's my first single crochet. So you're going to make, whenever there's a space, like at this point here, just make a single crochet. So make a total of 46 crochets until you get to the short side. Once I'm done with my 46 single crochets, I'm going to be working on this short side, so I'm going to just continue with the single crochets. So for the short side, you're going to make sure you have 10 single crochets. And 10 like that, and then you're going to turn to this long side again. So on this long side you're going to continue with our single crochets, so you're going to make sure you also have 46 6 single crochets as the other side. Once I'm done with my 46 single crochets on this last side, we're going to make 10 single crochets. After we made the 10 single crochets into this first chain here, we're going to make a slip stitch, and that's the end of row 1. So for row 2, we are going to start on making the double crochets. So you're going to take this is going to act as the base of our bag. Sorry. So you're going to start with 2 chains, 1, 2, and then you're going to add an extra chain, 3, and then into this next stitch here we are going to make a double crochet, just like that, and then you're going to chain 2, and then we're going to skip 2, 1, 2, and into the third one we are going to make a double crochet and another one in the next stitch. So just like that. So chain 2, and then we're going to skip 2, 1, 2. Into this next one you're going to make a double crochet and another one next to it, not in the same stitch but in different stitches. So chain 2, skip 2, and into the next one double crochet and another one, chain 2, skip 2, and double crochet and another one, chain 2, skip 2, double crochet and another. So that's how it's going to be looking like. We're going to be having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. If you made the same number of rows and the same number of chains starting with, you're going to be having these 12 double crochets, chain 2, double crochets. So onto the short side, you're going to chain 2 and then skip 2, 1, 2, and into this one make your double crochet and another one, just like that. Then chain 2, skip 2, and make a double crochet into the next one and another double crochet. Then chain 2, skip 2, and onto the long side make a double crochet and another one. So as you can see, on the short side there are 2, on the long side there are 12. So on this side you're going to make 12 DC, 12, 2 DC, chain 2, 2 DC, and on the short side there are going to be 2, 2 DC, chain 2, 2 DC. So let's make on this long side and then we'll meet on the short side again. So chain 2, skip 2, double crochet and another one, chain 2, skip 2, double crochet and another. You're going to be having a total of 12, and then chain 2 onto this long side, skip 2, then double crochet and next to it, then chain 2, skip 2, double crochet and another one, then chain 2. So if we skip these 2, we are going to make a slip stitch into the first 3 chains that we made. 2 and into this third one here, we are going to make a slip stitch just like that, and that's the end of our second row. So for our third row, you're going to chain 1 and then we're going to make a single crochet into the same spot. And then into this next double crochet, and then for our 2 chains here, you're going to make two single crochets. You can either make them by inserting your hook directly like that, or just in between these chains here, and then into these double crochets, and then onto the chains. So you're going to make this for the entire row. Make them for the entire row, and when you reach at this point, make a slip stitch, and then we're going to make row 4. That's how our row 3 is going to be looking like. So to make row 4, we're going to chain 3, 1, 2 and 3, and then into this next stitch here, we're going to make a double crochet. And then we're going to chain 2 and then skip 2, and into the third one here, we're going to make a double crochet and another one in the next stitch. As you can see, this is how it's going to be looking like. The double crochets are supposed to be lining up on one side. So chain 2, skip 2, and into the third, make your double crochet and another one. Chain 2, skip 2, and into the third one, make a double crochet and another one. Chain 2, skip 2, then double crochet and another one, like that. So you're going to repeat row 3 and row 4 up to row number 20, and then we are going to start working on the back straps. So chain 2, skip 2, double crochet and another one. Chain 2, skip 2, double crochet and another one. So these are my rows that I made up to row 20 here. So now we are going to start on making the back straps. To make the back straps, I'm not going to cut my yarn, so at this point here we're going to continue from that point. So I'm going to start with I'm going to start with chaining 3, 1, 2 and 3, and then into this next chain I'm going to make a double crochet like that, and then chain 2, skip the next 2, make your double crochet and another one. So you're going to repeat this process 5 times, so 1, 2, and make 3 more. So double crochet, chain 2, skip 2, double crochet and another one, then chain 2, skip 2, double crochet and another one. So here we have our 5, 2 double crochet, chain 2, skip 2, 2 double crochet. So into this next one we are going to make a reduction, we're going to decrease. So chain 2, and then into this space here, so you're going to make your first double crochet and then pull 2 like that, and then another double crochet, yarn through 2. When you're remaining with 3 loops, pull through all 3 of them, and that's how we have our first reduction. And then for the next row we're going to chain 1 and we are going to turn our work. So for this entire row we are going to make single crochets. So single crochet into the first stitch like that, and because here we have 2 chains, so make 2 single crochets, and then into the double crochets make your 2 single crochets, and then here in the chains 2 single crochets. You're going to be having a total of 20 single crochets, so make them up to the end of the row. Once we are done with our 20 single crochets, you're going to turn your work onto the third side, and we are going to work in the third row. So to work in the third row, we are going to make a single crochet into the first chain here like that, and then we are going to chain 1, and we are going to skip the next ones, and into this space here you're going to make your double crochet. So this is going to act as our decrease also, and then you're going to make a double crochet into the next one, and then chain 2 like that, double crochet and another one. That's how it's going to be looking like. Then chain 2, double crochet and another, chain 2, 1 double crochet, and then we are going to make a decrease again. To make our decrease, you're going to make the double crochet next to this one, and then pull through 2 loops like that, and then we're going to skip 2, and into this last one here, this last stitch here, we're going to make a double crochet. So through 2 loops, when you have 3, you're going to pull through all of them, and that's another decrease there. And then you're going to chain 1, turn our work, and you're going to be working single crochets into every stitch, and we are going to be having a total of 14 single crochets for row 4. Once we have the 14 single crochets, we are going to turn our work onto this other side, and we are going to make a single crochet into this first stitch like that, and then we are going to chain 1, and into this next stitch here we're going to make a double crochet like that, and then I'm going to chain 2, and into this next one I'm going to make 2 double crochet, so 1 and the next one, and then chain 2 and skip 2 and make your next double crochet and another one into the next one, and then into this last 2 we are going to make another decrease, so chain 2 and then skip the next 2 and make our first decrease like that. To the next one, pull through and then yarn through 2 loops. When you have 3, reduce through all of them. That's how our back strap is going to be forming. And then for the next one, chain 1, turn your work, and we're going to be making our single crochets for this row. And for the 6th row we are going to be having a total of 12 single crochets. Once we have our 12 single crochets, we are going to turn our work, and for the 7th row we are going to make 1 single crochet and then chain 1, and then we are going to skip the rest here, and into this one we are going to make our double crochet. That's going to act as our decrease, and another double crochet, and then chain 2, skip 2, double crochet, and then we are going to make a decrease here, so double crochet, we're going to reduce like that, and another one up in this point like that, and then through 3 together like that. For our 8th row it's going to be chain 1 and turn our work, and we're going to work single crochets into every stitch, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 like that, and then we're going to turn our work, and we're going to work single crochet into the first chain and chain 1, and then double crochet into the next stitch like that, and then we're going to chain 2, skip 2, and then we're going to make a decrease, so yarn over like that, then into the next one like that, and then through all 3 of them that way. And then for our 10th row, chain 1, turn our work and single crochet into the first stitch, then 2, 3 and 4. So you're going to have 4 single crochets, and then we're going to turn our work, and you're going to make a single crochet into this first chain, then chain 1, skip 2, and you're going to make double crochet into that one. So that's how it's going to be looking like. Then chain 1 and cut your yarn. So that's how our first triangle is going to be looking like. So you're going to make another one at this point, another one here, and another one at this side here. You're going to make 4 of them, and then I'll meet you back. So once I've made about these 4 parts of the same length and the same decreasing and whatever until they're the same size, I'm going to start working on the straps of the bag. So because at this point here I left this one space here, I'm going to put my hook at this point, and I'm going to attach my yarn like that, and then I'm going to chain one, and into the same space I'm going to make a single crochet, and then I'm going to continue working single crochets. So, and then for this side here I'm going to continue working single crochets up to the top of the bag. So work up to this point here, and then once I'm at this point here, I'm going to be making the number of chains for my strap. So I'm going to chain 70 chains. Once I have my 70 chains, I'm going to join them to this other side here, this high point here. So I'm just going to insert my hook into this side and pull and join with a single crochet like that. I'm going to continue with the single crochets for this side. So just make them until you get to this point here, and then I'll meet you again. Once I've made the single crochets up to the highest point of the other side, I'm going to be chaining 70 chains like this other side. Once I have my 70 chains like the other side, onto the highest point of the other side, I'm going to join using a single crochet. Once I've joined using the single crochet, I'm going to make 2 single crochet like that, and then continue with the rest. Continue with them up to this point here. Once I've made my single crochets up to this point here, I'm going to make another row of single crochets so that I can make my straps a bit thicker. So chain 1, single crochet, and then continue with the single crochets where you made the previous ones. Like that. So then make them up to the top of the strap here. So I'm going to make the single crochets on the strap also. So that's how you're going to make the single crochets on the strap. So you're going to repeat this for both sides, and when you reach at the end, make a slip stitch and cut your yarn. That's how it's going to be looking like. So I added single crochets in the middle part here so that it can look like the outer part, and if you want, you can increase the number of single crochets to make your bag a bit tighter and a bit bigger. So this is the full tutorial of my net bag. I hope you enjoy the tutorial and I'll see you next time. Bye.